Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with the instant match reaction, reacting to Nottingham Forest 2, Aston Villa nil. And it's not very often I'm reacting to a defeat, thankfully. But today, bad day at the office, really bad day at the office. It was just one of those days, one of those games. It looks like that nothing was going to go for us, and we could have played all night and not scored. But we will go into it a little bit more. You guys get your thoughts in the comments on today's performance and today's game. Um, and um, and yeah, can we bounce back? Will we bounce back? Is it a potential sign of things to come? I don't particularly think so. I think it's one of those games, but we will get into it. First of all, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, help us on the road to 3K. We're very close to 2,700 subscribers, which is just fantastic. But you guys can help us get there. So like, subscribe, comment below your thoughts on today's performance. So yeah, obviously, starting lineup came out. I obviously gave mine, and it turned out to be exactly right. Using FanHub, link in the description if you want to join the community to predict your lineups with FanHub. Emi Martinez a goal, Cash, Konsa, Pau Torres, Luca Dean, Kamara, Louise, McGinn, Zaniolo, Diaby, and Watkins. And you have to say, that team performed well against Luton. It's performed well for the majority of the last few games, and why change a winning side? And you can't really necessarily blame Unai Emery for that. He had potential to bring Diego Carlos in, potential to maybe beef up the midfield a little bit. Obviously, the Bailey and Zaniolo question mark between the two of them, but you're thinking Zaniolo may be slightly more physical against a Nottingham Forest side that are extremely physical, and obviously that showed today. But he goes with that starting lineup, and I don't think it matters what lineup you start the game with. If you're letting in a goal after 5 minutes, you're always going to be struggling. And we just seemed a bit sluggish from the start. I think we were trying to control the game, trying to bring Forest out onto us. But they obviously have weapons and they have pace up front. Awoniyi is a real danger. Elanga's a real danger. Morgan Gibbs-White is a real danger. And we kind of played into their hands a little bit. And I think our closing down, our urgency off the ball wasn't there today, was really lacking today. And that told after 5 minutes when Aina runs onto the ball from a cutback just outside the box, and drills it in the bottom corner, and we're facing an uphill task right from the 5th minute. Again, throughout that first half, kind of controlled the game, but didn't really threaten. Too slow with the ball. Nottingham Forest have got the early goal. They're going to sit back. They don't need to press us. They don't need to be pushing forward and trying to take risks. And we got down the sides every now and again, but flattered to deceive with some of our crossing. Our passing was off. We were taking that extra touch. And Zaniolo, I think Zaniolo and Diaby in particular in that first half couldn't really get into the game. They were a bit wasteful with the passing. Nicola Zaniolo had a shot that went straight at the goalkeeper. That was probably the best moment for us in the first half. But despite all the possession, we didn't really threaten, and we were pretty toothless. I think Watkins had something like 5 touches in that first half. And yeah, we just couldn't get anything going. And that's where you need that movement. That's where you need that threatening players who can run past people, or first time one touch quick passing, or missing out players to try and play the quick switch ball, and we didn't do it. We didn't do it enough. And obviously half time comes, we're 1-0 down. Could have been worse, not if not for a fortunate offside that could have led to a penalty. But yeah, we go in 1-0 down, and you think, right, get back into it, settle in for the second half, and Leon Bailey comes on at half time for Nicola Zaniolo, which tells you a lot about what Emery's thinking and how he's getting into I just don't think that he's getting used to the pace of the Premier League at the moment. He's taking too long with the ball. He's trying to hold on to it when he should be passing it first time. He's not reading players' runs. I mean, I thought after a week of training with the first team, a good solid week of training with the first team. I was expecting more, and I've not seen enough from him to warrant starting the next game. I think he can turn into a good player, but he's had 14 appearances. He hasn't had a proper assist. He hasn't scored. Needs to do more. But Bailey comes on at half time, and then we get caught out with another crazy sucker punch, long range shot from Mangala, and after a ball loops up in the air from Toffolo. Konsa doesn't necessarily read it great, but we don't close the ball down properly. Martinez goes to save it. I don't quite know what he's trying to do. Is he trying to push it over the bar? Is he trying to push it wide? Ends up looping up into the air and then bounces down over the line. He tries to get up and is flapping at it, and the ball's carried over the line, and 2-0 down, and just left ourselves way too much to do. Albeit we controlled that second half. We did have some threatening moments. Watkins probably should have scored on one or two occasions. Diaby should have scored on a couple of occasions. But yet again, we get down the right, we get down the left, and the balls in were just wasteful. Digne got in down the left 2 or 3 times, just wasteful in terms of the crossing. But full credit to Nottingham Forest. They really defended well. They did a number on Ollie Watkins. They did a number on Diaby. He couldn't get into the game at all, albeit probably for 20 minutes towards the end. And they did a number on the midfield with Louise and Kamara being frustrated. Again, they played better in that second half. I was really impressed with Tielemans when he came on. I thought Tielemans looked really sharp and started playing some more incisive passes. So I think that was an encouraging sign. And coincidentally, we actually had more shots than we've had in previous games. I will go through the statistics for you right now. Obviously, the scoreline 2-0. But yeah, in terms of the momentum, if you're looking at that, you're thinking, well, how the hell did we not score? 74% possession, 1.26 in terms of expected goals, not great. 13 total shots, only 3 on target. That's the big one, and 2 big chances missed. And 581 passes, 91%, and 10 corners. And again, we were kind of playing into Nottingham Forest hands with the corners, to be fair. They've got a very big, very strong defensive line unit, and we didn't really show enough, I would say, invention, which is quite surprising from the set pieces. But yeah, like I said before, we could have played all night and not scored. It was just, again, going to be one of those games. Anytime we had a shot from outside the box, it went way over. I think Bailey hit a shot over the bar. Tielemans hit a shot way over the bar. But I don't think there's too much to kind of get too worried about. I just think it was a bad day at the office. I just don't think we played well enough. And I did kind of tease that fact when we did our match preview, me and Rich, the other day. And I thought, is there going to be a time where we have an off day, we have a bad day? And today was that day. I'm a wee bit concerned about the away form. We've only beaten Burnley, drawn against Wolves, and beaten Chelsea, which we obviously defended resolutely against Chelsea, but we've not been good enough really against Liverpool. We've not been good enough against Newcastle, and we've not been good enough today. We need to kind of fix that away form a little bit more, I think. Obviously, the home form is good, is really strong, and I expect us to put it right in the next 2 games. Obviously, Conference League against Alkmaar, and Premier League next week against Fulham. But the away form really does need to be looked at, and I'm not sure if physically we're strong enough to face up to some of these teams away from home, or whether today it was just the passing was off, something wasn't quite right. But again, you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm not going to get too crazy over it. It was a bad performance, albeit one that we controlled, but in front of goal we were very wasteful, and we just didn't have the right combinations to be ruthless enough today in front of goal. But I'm expecting a reaction. I expect us to come back fighting. That's it for me. As I said before, guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, help us on the road to 3K, very close to 2,700. Don't be too down on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be back later on for a full match reaction show with the boys. But for now, thank you for watching. And as always, remember, we all follow the Villa. Thanks all.